What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Ralph Productions. As always, I am Chris, and I hope you're having a wonderful night. So, right now, I'm gonna be getting into my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
They could speak across oceans. But now it is our time.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my most anticipated film for the year. Back in December, Ralph and we did our top 10 most anticipated movies for the year, and at the top of my list was this film. The reason being is because I absolutely love the Matt Reeves trilogy that came out over the, 2011, right? 2011, 13, 17, something like that. I think that trilogy is just absolutely perfect. This time it's going to be directed by Mr. Wes Ball. He's best known for the Maze Runner franchise. So for my review, I'm gonna go over some spoiler-esque moments or essence of the story. But I'm not gonna dive too deep into this because I think this film is best left for the viewer to just soak in themselves. Overall, I love this movie, and let's go ahead and get into it. So this film takes place many, many generations after the events of War of the Planet of the Apes, after the death of Caesar. Um, and a lot has changed since then. You know, the apes, it's their kingdom. They rule the earth, they rule the planet, the lands. And humans have sort of become these rabid animals that can't even speak. This film, it stars Owen Teague, who is our main protagonist, Noah, co-stars Freya Allen as May, and our main antagonist is Kevin Durand, who plays Proximus Caesar. First, I just want to say Kevin Durand absolutely killed this role as Proximus Caesar, and Proximus Caesar, I think, is a really badass ape to follow because he's very cutthroat and selfish at times. So the premise of this film is, we get introduced to Noah and his clan, his apes. They sort of are just living amongst themselves, living off of the land. They're very intelligent. And we get introduced to the human character, May. And, throughout the movie, we just get pushed towards the story of Proximus Caesar and what he has in store for us. I want to focus on Noah, our main protagonist of this film. Noah is an ape who lives with his family, lives with his fellow clan, and he's just trying to go about his life. We start to learn throughout that there are many clans of apes throughout the lands, and they have different ideas of how they came about. What I think this film does beautifully, it pays homage to the OG films, the original Planet of the Apes films, and of course, this is a sequel to the Matt Reeves trilogy, so it has beautiful, I think, ties between the original films, so we're paying homage to that, and the amazing callbacks from the Matt Reeves trilogy. Um, we see that Caesar, he's an entity that different apes interpret him. Noah and his clan very much know little about him, um, and we just throughout that learn what Caesar means to these apes. Our main human is May, played by Freya Allen. I think she. This is the first that I've seen of her. This is the first that I've seen of a lot of these actors. Owen Teague, Freya Allen. I thought she did an amazing job. Whenever you watch movies like Planet of the Apes, like Transformers, um, like Godzilla and Kong films, a lot of the times you don't even want to focus on the humans. You just want to focus on, the apes, the Transformers, Godzilla, King Kong. Um, but she is such an intriguing character, May. What I love about this story of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is that it's very much flipped on its head from the original movie, from the first one from Matt Reeves trilogy. Obviously humans were, superior in intelligence and apes were not. It's completely flipped. Apes are superior and intelligent, and there's humans who can't even speak. So it's interesting to see how over the course of generations and decades and decades, how things have changed. Um, Further along the film, we learn that there's sort of, tricklings of humans being intelligent, but we don't learn that out till later on. Essentially, the main storyline of this movie is that Proximus Caesar, he sends his apes to go and find May because he wants something that she has. She ends up at Noah's camp, his clan. They raid Noah's clan, and that's how we bring Noah into our story. Even though he's our main protagonist, we follow him throughout. Um, you know, First, also, I just want to get into the visual effects of this film are absolutely beautiful. At moments, it genuinely felt like they got apes and they taught them the English language and they taught them how to act, and it was breathtaking. The budget from this film is actually, I think, 120 million. For the way that it looks, you think this is a $400 million movie, which would make it the most expensive movie. Um, but I think they just do an incredible job. And that's the product you get whenever you allow your artists to have their time, to take their time to create these moments, to create this beautiful art. I just want to give a shout out to them because they absolutely were killer. Um, this is easily the best CG since Avatar, and I think at moments it was better than Avatar. And Avatar had a budget, some U.S. government budget basically. Um, so I think this movie is beautiful. The setting, I don't know the exact location of where it takes place. There are moments where you see like an abandoned airport, of course. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. Uh, let's get into Proximus Caesar, our main antagonist, who's played, like I mentioned, Kevin Durand. Kevin Durand, he is in a new film, Abigail, which I haven't seen. I've been needing to watch in theaters, as well as X-Men: Wolverine Origins. He's in that one. Oh man, Proximus Caesar is a delusional mofo. He claims to be Caesar. Well, he's not Caesar himself. He's Caesar, he claims to be this god of Caesar. And that's what Caesar's legacy is. It's very muddied because a lot of the apes don't know exactly what Caesar did. There is one ape or an orangutan named Raka. Raka is that's my guy. He essentially a a devoted follower of Caesar and his words and of his way of life. And I think his character is very beautiful, very, very wise words that he says throughout the film. And Proximus Caesar is the complete opposite. Proximus Caesar uses Caesar's name as to sort of elevate himself as a god to those that he's enslaved. Um, Throughout the film, I will say, speaking of like apes that he's enslaved and his ultimate goal, that is something that I think a lot of people are gonna sort of have not they're not gonna have trouble, but something that they'll feel in the runtime. I think the runtime is beautiful. I love the length of this movie. I do. But I can see from other people's perspectives of why are we taking a little longer than usual to get to what our main plot is. We're following Noah after his clan was raided by Proximus Caesar's land or by his clan, and we're just basically following. He's gonna go get his mother. Forgot to mention his mother was taken by Proximus Caesar's people. Um, so I think a lot of people are gonna probably have some issues on how um, slow it can be at times. I felt it a little bit at one point. I was like, okay, so we're about like we've gone 30 minutes, right? What's the next part of the story? Luckily, I think whenever you start to feel that, at least when I started to feel that, you'll definitely like the story will pick up, and there are moments of beautiful set pieces of action, and it's not traditional action. There really is no like whenever you see the other Planet of the Apes movies, um, or it's like these. gigantic set pieces with raids and these crazy fight sequences. There are intimate moments of fight scenes in this film, not as grand as the other ones. And I think it's perfect for this story and the story that we're telling because we're being reintroduced to this world, where we're just kind of seeing where it was left off and what has become over the last decades and generations. So this is a very introduction story to the next set of films that they're going to be doing, and I think it does that beautifully. So without giving too much away, I think Proximus Caesar, the way that his story concludes with Noah becoming the ape that he is having trouble throughout the film. Noah, he's sort of trying to not live under his father's shadow. Not that his father put him in that, but Noah himself has put them in that. And I think his main story that we follow is absolutely beautiful. Oh, some other characters that I forgot to mention. Suna is sort of Noah's counterpart, as well as Anya. Anya is like Noah's like his best friend. I thought they were wonderful as well. Their relationships were great. His relationship with his mother, Dar, played by Sarah Wiseman, is beautiful. So Mother's Day is this weekend. Friday was Mother's Day in Mexico, which is what my family celebrates. So this very much has a mother-son element throughout the film, and I think it's beautiful. I think this movie is just absolutely wonderful. What this film accomplishes is, I think the ending is perfect. Genuinely, I think this ending is the perfect ending to an introduction movie to the next set of films. It leaves you wanting more. You are satisfied with the conclusion of this movie, and I think it was just beautifully told of what they're setting up for the next set of films, of what we can expect to see in the next set of films, and I just absolutely love that. So, on a scale of 1 to 10 of excitement and expectations and delivering, I give this movie an absolute 10. Like I mentioned, there are moments where it does slow down a bit, but I think it's necessary at times to slow down because we're just being reintroduced to this world. It would be one thing if they just threw us into the Proxima Caesar story right away without ever knowing exactly who our main characters are, Noah and Suna and his mother and May and all them. So I love this film, and it lived up to my expectations, and it being my most anticipated film of the year, it did not disappoint. So guys, I cannot recommend this movie enough. Go check it out in theaters. It's actually tracking really well for opening weekend. And for the budget that it had and for everything and all that, it's gonna make bank in the box office, and deservedly so. I think 20th Century, they definitely have a banger on their hands, and they know what they're doing for the next set of films. I can't wait. So, guys, if you're still watching, I appreciate the support. If you'd like, you can like, share, and subscribe. It's up to you, but we do appreciate the support that we've been receiving. So, as always, guys, I'm Chris. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.